The road is full of pain. It all starts with red bumps and pustules that steadily turn darker, becoming the deepest black. A raging fever follows, and, in some cases, a wheezing cough.
Sounds like the plague in Warunk. In the end, you become weak and die.
The weakness is a sign that the mind wants to leave the body. This is a very important time. Those who have borne the burden thus far can now join the Chosen. The Warunkians die because no one revealed that to them, and because they have no life spring. But Gamat knows the right time, and names the Chosen. He shows them the way to the life spring, and thus they go directly to paradise.
And you really believe that?
We do not force anyone. But, believe me, it is more reasonable than it might seem.
This Gamat, did he really cure you all of the plague?
We are blessed. The scars mark the bodies of the Chosen. Gamat, the holy man, has revealed this to us. The ignorant call it an epidemic, but we know that the burden of the Chosen will be rewarded with paradise.
And what's your role in all this, Ulev?
I help. I lead the community, while Gamat watches over our souls.
And why did the community end up here, of all places?
This is a good place. Even the mighty Elhanians settled down here.
You mean the Elhani? The ancient people with the powerful sorceress
I am
was able
so
to move
happy to
entire
be
islands
chosen.
by their will alone. A traveling salesman once told me about them.
Yes, an old people who knew much about many arts. They ruled a great empire, and are said to even have had peace treaties with the goblin hordes.
Until the Rondrians subjugated them and drove them off.
As may be. To this day, the swamp still spits up old shards and debris they once left behind. But nothing of importance.
왜 라티카?
I've heard that you have a daughter named Latika.
Yes, Latika is my daughter. She is doing well.
So what do you want me to do for the community?
There is an important ceremony coming up at the Life Spring. We urgently need more wood for the masks.
You want me to prove myself by chopping wood.
There's almost nothing but demonic wood in the swamp. You will understand that the Holy Man does not want to endanger the souls in their transition to paradise. We have already lost half of the village. The ruins are completely soaked with the swamp's evil influence. In the west, on the other side of the palisade, we dare not go there. There are too many undead. The drowned corpses are exceptionally dangerous. But there are still some carts stuck in the mud that we use to move from Warunk. Their wood is new enough to use.
Then I'll just be getting on with it.
If you come back with unspoiled wood, we will all look for traces of your two women. I will see to that myself.
Where can I find the untainted wood?
But there are...
Why don't you just take demonic wood? Can't be that bad.
Firstly, because Holy Gamat says so. And secondly, because I can tell you stories that would make your blood run cold.
So, let's go.
It all started when we arrived here with our carts. An orphan girl was with us. Her one arm was scarred, and with the other, she clung to her wooden lion. Someone had whittled her that lion out of swamp wood. Now we know that that wood was demonically contaminated. The wooden lion began to run and jump.
I am so happy
The girl
to be
was happy.
chosen.
She laughed for the first time since she was scarred. We thought it was a good omen for our trip.
But
수고.
That night, we heard screams. We ran over to the girl's camp. She was trying to shake the lion from her body. It had become hungry for meat. It took 3 men to pull the wooden beast off the girl. Then, the girl's forearm tore off, and the lion escaped into the darkness with its spoils.
do you have any more stories about this wood?
Oh yes, many. Listen. Stopped under a weeping willow, the mules refused to go on. Borkow was a coachman, a good man with the whip. He spoke to them, petted them, but they would not
I am so
move.
happy to be
Finally he
chosen.
whipped them. The animals simply would not go on. Borkow whipped and whipped. The mule's hide split open, and the whip tore bloody wounds. Later, Borkow cut himself on his knife as he cleaned the mule's hooves. It was just a small cut.
그리고요.
Is that it?
The next morning he could not find his whip, so he drove the mules with a willow switch. But again they stopped. He started to yell at them, but then he began to gasp for air. The willow was strangling him. He tried to remove it from around his throat, but he could not get a grip on it. It had crept under his skin. It had tasted blood.
Truly scary.
Yes, I find these stories too scary myself, to be honest.
Have you ever seen the life spring?
Genlet is and always will be a Dion.
I want to find an
Herbs, potions, sundries.
이거 맛있네.
You want to do something for Fernfield? Very good. We've use for any help we can get.